Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Lotusthesage. I'm Lotus. Today we're going to get into another pick a card reading, and today's reading is going to be the reason behind the blockage. So whatever area you're having a blockage in, we're going to hopefully tap into your energies and figure out what some of those reasonings might be. So for our first pile, we're doing pick a guidance card. So we have this one. Angel Answers, Pile 2, Earth Magic, and Pile 3, Angels and Ancestors. So those are your choices. I will see you at your piles. Okay, welcome, my pile 1. Let's lay out your cards. Okay, let's get into your reading. So our first position is going to be the reason behind the blockage, the main reason. This whole column, of course. Okay, so we have 7 of Wands, sorry if you're hearing the wind, it's crazy. I'm getting 2 scenarios. Excuse me. One being that there's been too many things that you might have had to oppose against or defend against or impose your boundary on so that you can move forward, therefore creating that blockage. It can also be a sense of being too defensive and too sure or feeling too right in a sense that prevents you from being able to move past a particular situation. But my feeling is for majority of my viewers that this being the reasoning behind the blockage can probably be both. It can probably be a sense of fighting too much for what you want maybe and just for the need to fight for it, or it can be a sense of the people around you being too defensive and not open enough to allow the change or movement within the area. Let's see what your tea leaf adds. November. So November could have been important, can be important, can be a very significant month in any way when it relates to this situation that you are in right now that is creating this blockage. It may have started in November. A Scorpio or a Sag might be important or involved. I'm also getting that there could have been a standstill just in general when it comes to movement, like a freezing of things. I'm hearing freezing of assets, freezing of time, like limited time. I'm feeling an unclear sense of communication. It's like a debate or a battle or an argument that nobody really wins. Okay. Let's see what to consider. Excuse me. 6 of Pentacles. So it's balance and reciprocity and equal exchange. I'm feeling more strongly that it has to do exactly what we said in the beginning. Both scenarios are involved or can be the situation. So the Spirit is saying there's a call for, again, a coming back to a balanced exchange, equal give and take, listening and being heard. Clearer communication, like we said. Generosity of time, everything is just, it needs to be balanced out. That is what's to consider. And regardless if you cannot, obviously we cannot change the actions of others, but in your own actions and your own choices, how can you find the balance again within this dynamic for yourself that doesn't keep you feeling compromised or, let's say, at the mercy of circumstance or situation. They keep blocking my chakra. my throat chakra. Give me a second. I'm also getting for some that they may be saying seek places where where you'll be received better also. If this dynamic is not something that you feel like continuing in, if that is you, then they're saying look for or seek others, seek something else that will help make you feel more balanced. But I'm getting that there's a want and a need to sort of move through this barrier instead of leaving it. That's the energy I'm getting. Okay, let's see what this adds. Dark woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with dark complexion or hair. Another scenario that's coming up is if this has to do with a relationship, an actual romantic relationship, that there's a possibility of your partner feeling like you're not giving them enough time. And your argument, my viewer, is I have so many responsibilities here, there's only so much I can give. And it's not in a bad way, it's in like a legitimate, like I don't have the energy for it. But that's part of the problem. Is to, again, something being frozen out, right? Energy, time. So maybe there is, again, the call back to how can I give back to the situation or person more equally, more balanced, where I don't feel like I have to fight for my position or my stance, that it's a lot more harmonious. Let's see where this moves to. What to let grow. Nice. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, what to let grow. The possibility for a new opportunity to balance this out. Coming back to sort of a ground zero and starting afresh. Making true, tangible steps towards creating this balance, towards moving through this blockage, towards melting this freeze out. And the possibility for it to be better. Okay. Then it says skull. Skull. Hidden secrets can harm you. And this is where this opportunity for newness, right? For this balance of clearer communication. Like we said from the beginning, it's about coming to the surface transparent, starting anew, balanced and equal, clear, ready to move in unison now. Yeah, not one fighting for this and begging for this. That's what you need to let grow, is to reveal, be honest, communicate, full transparency, to be able to start this new beginning, to be able to get through this blockage. This is the key. Be honest. Your practical advice. Oh wow. 6 of Cups. Look at that. Yeah, like that deeper soul connection of truth, of genuine, nostalgic, emotional type of reciprocity. To me, it's like the sweeter version of this, you know, the more innocent version of feeling like you're pleading and begging for time, begging for attention. I feel like this is the dynamic, right? If that's you or your person or the people or thing involved. Sit yourself in whichever dynamic you play. But that's the practical advice, is to come back to the innocence of what is. And that is within the hidden secrets, you know, it's coming through truthful. An offering of pure love, genuine appreciation. Nice. Flag, don't be tempted to lower your standards. Yeah, and this is this is what I feel that this, for both, like if it's about the person or if it's you or the things around, it feels like this is part of what you've been fighting for. And this is, if this is the people around, this is also part of what they've been fighting for. So it's like, it's coming to that, again, that ground zero, to center off, to communicate what it is, so that we no longer have to feel like we are settling for something less. having to fight for our positions, having to prove something, to feel worthy from the other person, thing, or situation. Spirit's advice. Queen of Wands. Yeah, it's to step into your power. It's to know one's place too, meaning knowing your worth, knowing your autonomy, knowing who you are, knowing what you can create, having this beautiful sensuality about you, an intuitive, practical way of moving about your life, of sorting out your problems, of coming to the end in a better place than you started. And that's that, the first real regal out here, and that's like a progression is what I see, It feels like a student that grows up, learns the lesson the hard way, has to come back down, humbles himself, understands what the situation, and then levels up. That's the way I could put it if we're talking about that sort of flux of the hero's journey. Cool. All right, let's see this. Nice. And work, achievement, and success. That's exactly right. All the work that you've put in accumulates this beautiful success. That's what Spirit wants you to know. You are leveling up and you're in the process, if you allow this realization and change and start the rebalancing either within yourself, within the dynamic, within the situation, so that you can get yourself to this Queen of Wands energy and that achievement and success of the coming to the surface with truth. Complete honesty. That is what is required. Trust, honesty, and balanced communication, balanced time, balanced love. Love that. All right. For the reason behind your angel guidance is no. I feel like you need to stop for, not you. It might be you. I feel like it's my viewer. I'm sorry that I just said it that way, but that's what came out. It's you. It's like you need to release this. I feel like it is now you, my viewer, the most strongly. That no more. Like this, the fighting has to stop. It's the resistance has to stop. The freezing out has to stop. And that's the blockage. That is like, no. Like it's, again, it's both. If it's you, my person, I feel like it is because you came to this reading for it, but it definitely does not have to be. It definitely can be the scenario more strongly, but I still feel like you are involved in this. Obviously, it takes two to tango. Okay, and then underneath, what to consider. Remain positive. Absolutely. So remain positive that this balance can happen, that this reciprocity can return or become stronger, that your dealings with this person, or if it's not a person, like we said, situation or thing, will have a positive outcome like we've already been shown if we allow ourselves to move in this energy. Lovely. What to let go. Be assertive. Yeah, and this is assertive in your words and your thoughts and your actions, and be clear. Like we said, be transparent. That is what the key is for you, my friends. Okay, let's see what, your practical advice is. There's something better. Yeah, and this is where the flag is coming in. Don't be tempted to lower your standards and assume. Yeah, don't be tempted to lower your standards. There is something better, and you know it because you can feel it. There's something that this can be better. This whole situation can be better. I can do better. They can do better. That's what I'm getting as the energy from this when it comes to relation to your practical advice. There's something better for you to, there's a better way for you to attain what you truly want without feeling so defensive or feeling like you're fighting for something. Or begging for something. I'm also getting, because they're sort of like mixing these two messages for me, and they're saying like there are times when we think that the grass is greener on the other side, and that there's something better, And sometimes people or things have to figure that out the hard way. And that other person that might be left, so to speak, in the scenario might feel like they need to lower their standard because of the fact that they didn't get what they thought was a gem. When in reality it still was, still is. It's just that there's a process that this person or thing had to go through for the timing to be right, for it to align. So remain positive. You know, there's something better is already here. Don't get swayed or mystified by the uncertainty. Interesting. And Spirit's advice. Perfect timing, like we talked about, the timing of this. This is all divinely guided. Absolutely. Abso-friggin-lutely. Perfect timing. Okay. Your last answers you seek to close off your reading, my beautiful Pal 1. I hope this was helpful. Please give it a like if it was. So at least lets me know that I got your energy and I can tap into these more accurately, let's say. For no, we have not right now. How perfect. Not right now. On remain positive and what to consider. We've already seen this message. Balance, love. Exactly, talking about this reciprocity. How perfect. That spark, it's within you. Be assertive. That clarity, the hidden secrets, it's within you. It's coming clear, transparent, recognizing what you have, what you want. Spiritual awakening, number 11, enlightenment, soul mission, life purpose. Yep, underneath your practical advice. This is, like I said, the lesson, right? The awakening to what needed to happen first for this innocence to return, for this true soul bond to reunite in a more balanced place. That's why it's not right now. There's something that still needs to finish, or is already in the process of finishing. Last message. Time to cleanse. And that's being in this like work, achievement, success, the perfect timing. It's all been cleansed is what I'm getting. The cleansing has happened. It's leaving you emerged, a rebirth, this baptism of the new you, of the new situation, of the new dynamic, of the new. That's amazing. Okay, my beautiful collective of Pal 1. I hope that was helpful. Sending you love. Ciao. Welcome, my Pal 2. All right, let's get your cards out. All right, my beautiful Pal 1. Excuse me, my beautiful Pal 2. Let us get into your reading and let's find out the reason behind your blockage. This is what this position is here. Well, this column is. Sorry if you're hearing this crazy wind. It's crazy windy where I am. Apologies. 8 of Wands. I heard too much speed, too much haste. I'm also getting too much focus in one area that is keeping you blinded to certain things that you still need to be paying attention to, regardless of how laser focused you are. The path that you're on is correct, but there are other things that you need to attend to that will help when you get to this new destination. Metaphorically speaking, of course. My selenite just got real hot too. Like, yeah, it's so much, what's the word, frenetic energy, that I'm getting this like electrical heat pulse before something explodes. The reason behind, they want you to slow down. They want you to slow down a little bit. Slow down your thoughts, slow down your speaking, slow down your communication, slow down your actions, slow down your heart. They want you to enjoy the journey more than being so focused on the destination. Okay, let's see. March. I'm filming this mid-February, so this is very soon. Depending on when you watch this could be the March that comes up. You use your discernment. I heard March will make you slow down, or they're asking you to at least try to find some time in March to slow down. Or you have been moving so fast since the past March, so slow the F down. Either way, they want you to slow down. Jokes. Okay. What to consider? The Seven of Swords in reverse. I heard that you don't have to do all the work on your own. Like, it feels like you had to pick up the pieces for other people or other things, or because shit just fell through, shady people, whatever the case is, and you picked it up without a hesitation and you just kept going. And I think they're not trying to give you a hard time. They're just being like, you've done so much, like, just chill for a bit now, like, please just chill. So what to consider as that the hardest part, or the deceit, is done. The extra bits or the extra weight that you had to pick up, you can let them go now, or you can release its grip, your grip on it. They don't need you to rest in where you've got to, but they're asking you right now to take a moment of pause. They don't want you to lose your ambition, is a better way to say it. It's just that you do need to replenish, and right now you're going to lose and run out of steam before you get to that end point if you don't chill out. So what to consider? The shitty people are done. The most of that bulk is gone. Spirit is taking that away. That's how I'm seeing this hand in this position now. You know, Spirit's grabbing that and taking those swords away, and only two left in the direction you're going. Keep that in mind. Yeah, what to consider? Romance is in the air. Rose. What to consider? I'm also getting, like I said, the Spirit removing the rest of these obstacles that is leading you towards a better, like, again, better unions, better connections. Like I said, all the people that are around you that were deceitful or did you wrong in a sense, or just forgot about you, is what I'm also getting. Or didn't consider you as much as they should have, in other words. It's like, because of all the things that you've done and you've picked up, and you didn't really, like, bark, you know? It's just like, you gave your 2 cents, you're like, well, fuck it, if this is what I gotta do, there's no sense wasting my time trying to tell you that you're wrong. I just need to go do it. And because you did, I feel like they're bringing in something more harmonious, more lovely, more romantic, and a better fit in whatever area that romance can blossom, you know? Romance for your work, romance for your home, for yourself, with another. Lovely. What to let grow? Yeah. Queen of Cups. That's right, that nurturing the self, nurturing archetype of the female form, that watery, emotional, balanced, mature, a comfortability within oneself and the environment, more self-love, self-care. That's what's asking you to grow in this downtime, is what I'm getting. In this March, it's like romancing yourself is really what I'm getting. This love returns, you know, because you've been giving out and putting out so much, like I said, so much force that it feels like it's like, it's gonna explode. I don't feel like you may feel like that. I feel like you're just going, so like you don't even see it. You're just like, no, just gotta go, gotta get finished. That's what I'm getting, like Roadrunner, you know, and that coyote coming in to be like, slow down. He's really trying to catch him, but they're giving me the metaphor of like the distraction being those pauses, right? You need to enjoy who you are right now and give back to yourself. That's what I'm really getting. Tree, affairs with your family. Maybe you need to get back to some family time. Maybe you need to get back, like, again, rooting yourself into yourself, rooting into your home, rooting into your friends, your environment, things you enjoy doing. Yeah, it's bringing nature and nurture back into those areas, in that area. I just feel like you need a respite, like you need to, a little vacay or staycay or play day. Like, it doesn't matter. It just, that's what needs to let go. What you need to let go. Love that. Okay, let's see what your practical advice is. Page of Swords. I'm hearing footing now with surety. There is an understanding now on how you chose to take on this energy, which was this Eight of Wands, and it being because of, you know, the reasoning behind why you had to take it was you had to. There was not really a choice, is what I'm getting. Or else it would have been worse, or things would have crumbled in some way that you may not have been able to recover from. So that led you into just the doing, which Spirit is commending you for, but they're just now saying what's creating blockage from getting you to this end goal is you have not taken a break. And now once you do this, take this break, this replenishment of self, this connecting with family, friends, community, you step into this one step at a time, sure-footed and direct is the word. This before was like I said, like lightning speed, and you can't really see. You know how they do those like light things if you were to go and like they show in a movie, if you're going into space and they just show you those lights, like that's it, you don't really see anything. This one here is like I would say like a bobsled. You know, this speed is like a bobsled. You're directing and maneuvering this one now. Before you were at the mercy of the speed. Now you're the one in control of the speed. I hope that makes sense. That's the energy I'm getting when it comes to this practical advice. It's like using this downtime to calm the mind so it doesn't feel frenetic. It feels more direct and more clear, period. Okay. It says wealth. Beautiful. It's taking you towards where you want to go with better support is what I'm getting. And that support of your mind and support around you, maybe also because you've reconnected and released, again, some of the burdens of what you've been doing or saying or accomplishing or whatever the case is. It's bringing in this wealth for you, which is accomplishing the goal, and it's also giving you the wealth that you need while you attain the goal. And that wealth, again, does not necessarily have to only be money. Wealth of time, wealth of friendship, wealth of support, period. Wealth of resources. Wealth of people. So, stay rooted and grounded, keeping your ambition focused and direct, reminding yourself when you need to take a break. And you need to take a break. That's part of the blockage. This is what your purpose is. Take the break. Right here. Take the break. Let's see Spirit's advice. Oopsies. 7 of Cups. I heard, don't get distracted by the choices or options available to you to get to this end goal. Like we said, use the Page of Swords as a practical advice, step by step, clear and direct. Reminding yourself, as we said, to stay rooted while your emotional maturity calms, because you've been in a very frenetic energy prior. Once it levels out, remind yourself of all the possibilities of what could be, of taking in all these things that you might have been missing when I said this in the beginning, like you couldn't see. It's almost being able now to take, getting a different, picking your options of what you'd like to bring on this path, you know, like these lines, picking, right, to bring on that path. And then I'm feeling with these cups, you know, I can pick which emotion, pick which energy, pick which thing I want to add in to my journey. now that I'm no longer blinded by the speed, but I'm in my emotional balanced and mature, that I can now choose more clearly hopefully without getting distracted by how many options I may have, or how many things I can pick from, or whatever the case is. That's Spirit's advice. Fair man, dealings or relationship with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. So this can be one of your ancestors, this can be a family member, this can be a person you're actually in a relationship with, or this could be a person that you've already disconnected with, this could be the romance that's coming in. Like, there's so many possibilities for this fair-haired man. What I'm getting, though, when it comes to Spirit's advice, it feels like a person energy, like we said, some sort of something is coming in to help you make a better, to help you balance out your approach to this end goal. Because there can be confusion with that Seven of Cups, right? And this is why the practical advice is talking about that direct clarity in the direction you're going. And you might be, once you get into this resty period and you're in your emotions, you're like, ooh, you get that loosey-goosey boundaries. I'm a water sign, we just get lost in those energies. And sometimes it can prevent you from moving as swiftly in the direction as possible, because you would like to be like, but what about this? But what about this? But what about this? So there can be somebody that comes in to help sort of like keep you grounded also, and keep you sort of funneling you, like I talked about in as the bobsled, it being the actual path. I don't know how else to describe that metaphor. I hope that makes sense. So you take that energy at how it sits. Awesome. So let's go into the guidance for each column. So your reason and behind your blockage. Clouds, shape-shifting. Yep. And remember when I was talking about that you had to just take on all these roles or take on the responsibility, and you didn't even you shape-shifted so well. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's been I feel like it's been a tough year. That's what I'm getting. A tough year. And you have freaking chameleoned your way out of that shit, and they're fucking proud of you, but I still feel like you need to take a break. Like, they keep they keep telling me that. Like, they're like, yeah, but they need to take a break. Okay. What to consider? Fire, passion. Again, romance is in the air. This passion, like, it does feel like something is coming in. It's like a comfortability within self, the passion back for yourself, the being able to light your own fire, and for something to come in. It does feel like romance is blossoming here, pal, too. You gotta let me know what this is. If it's a reconnection, if it's a reconciliation, or if it's a completely new person. For romance. It doesn't mean a new person in your life, but a new person for romance in your life. Okay. Let's see what what to let go. Ah, nice. Vulnerability. Yeah. Queen of Cups, same deal. That emotional maturity, that vulnerable emotional expression, that rooting within, that grounding, all of this, the nurturance, all of it. That is what needs to be grown. That is what needs to be nourished, is the vulnerability of yourself. Again, because you are very much in the masculine archetype to get this shit done. Or even just to sustain the momentum. Cool. Your practical advice. What did we say? Stillness. That's so funny. So, like we said, it came up, though. Even though this is your practical advice, it's direct clarity once this respite has happened, right? You'll be gaining a plethora of wealth in the sense of knowledge, information, rest, love, etc. There's stuff coming in, but this stillness is required still. Like, there's a quietness and a direct focus in this, like that meditative stance almost before the runner goes, that athlete zone, the zone space of that's the focus I'm getting, and that's the stillness I'm feeling. So please do. And Spirit's advice. Oh yeah. Celebration. That's freaking right. You're going to get to this end goal like we already talked about. You're going to. You know, this is just, it's a matter of you need to chill. Stillness. Vulnerability. Celebration. Like we said, even if it's a little bit of playtime, there's this beautiful like crisscrossing of energies is what I'm getting for your reading. It's like this happens because of this, because this happens because of this, because this happens because of this, this happens because of this, you know, like it's very cool. Awesome. Okay, let's get into your last messages to close it off. Underneath, the reason behind choose. I'm thinking because you chose to take on the role. Like, that's my point. You chose the shape-shifting. You chose to handle this. You chose to keep moving. You chose not to let it pull you back or hold you back or make you feel worse than it already did. You just kept moving with it. So that's makes sense. What to consider. Alone time is needed. We already know this. And alone time might be with another person. It might be so that you can create some more exciting, passionate, romantic moments with this new energy that might be this person or thing beside you, you know? Cool. What to let go? This is so funny. This deep green, one of my favorite colors of shades of green, I should say. Underneath what to let go and what do you see? It says vulnerability. It's sort of, again, just this is all, like, the center is the focus, right? So past energies that are moving in, what you need to be in, where it's heading to, what you'll discover when you get there, and beyond. Practical advice. 1 year. Stillness. I feel like, again, we talked about this has been a shifty, that's the word they gave me. This has been a shifty year for you, quite literally. Talking about shape-shifting, a shifty year, and you had to choose, you had to navigate, you had to pick which way to go. And it's been fucking nuts. That's what I'm feeling here too. And the practical advice can be, it feels like this year, this coming year, because March, I'm going to use this as like the starting of this particular time frame, is going to be a better cycle of abundance, of a little bit more ease. I'm not feeling so burdened. So by the time this time next year, you'll be in a hell of a different place than this. I would definitely bookmark this and save this one because I would love to see where you're at in a year. Amazing. Last card. Oh, fuck yeah. Choose you. And that's what you do. That's what you do. You end up choosing you to give yourself back some information, because before you had to choose to do all of this, and now you're like, I can finally choose me again and enjoy and continue to flourish and grow with this romantic energy that's coming in, this passion that's lighting up my life again, this calmness that I feel in my mind, the options that I have, again, with this choice. It's like, choose you. That's where the celebration is. Oh, I love that, pile 2. I hope that was helpful. If it was, please give it a like so that I know that I tapped into your energy and I can continue to tap into your energy. I'm sending you so much love. Ciao. All right, welcome, pile 3, and let's get your cards out. All right, let's get into your spread. The reason behind your blockage, this is going to be this position here. Spirit of Wands, which is the King of Wands. I'm getting a sense of this is not at all a bad thing, but the reason behind the blockage, unfortunately, it feels like because you're almost too much of a visionary for the people that you're around. Like, your passion and your imagination and your vision is like, I'm feeling like light years ahead of the people or energy that you're currently involved with. This is interesting. There's a realization of that, it feels like. It's like, I might be, because I feel like it might be making you feel like you're cuckoo a little bit. Interesting. Give me a second. Yeah, it's almost like you unveil a particular insight and truth that is undeniable, and yet I still feel like people fight against your vision, your ideas, your actions. You have this a very like an invisible strength that people can feel, and they know that they feel that it's truth. I feel like they're just a little bit farther behind than you are when it comes to this particular emotional process or visionary insight or spiritual development. Interesting. Okay. Finger. Warning you of a problem either now or in the near future. No shit, you're in it now. I wonder if they're pointing the finger at you, as in that you're the problem, because you can't, maybe they feel that you can't sort of like come down to their level, not in a sense of like high or low, or just being like come back down to earth, so to speak. The other scenario I'm getting is that you are the one showing like this is the problem. You're showing them, like you're pointing the way to like this is the thing, you know, like I am unveiling truths to you here. I'm unveiling truths. That's what I'm getting. Her eyes lit up with that wand, you know, in a direction, knowing where she's going. It's like she's being guided. And that finger pointing, if you're looking at it it's like pointing in the same direction. You know, like showing the way. And it feels like people are just, some people, or the people who are around you, or some people that you'd really want to, that you want to help. It's not even like helping like that they need it, just being like, you can get here too. I want you to be here too. Interesting. I feel like you're the one who's warning them of the problem, but they end up blaming you for the problem. It's something like that. There's something very strange about this. And this is why I'm saying, like, it feels like the people who are around you, sorry for the wind if you're hearing that, it's crazy windy where I am. It's like for the people around you, it feels like you're like this crazy celestial being that they feel inevitably in their spirit or their soul or something like that. There's an energetic response to your vibration, and yet they still refuse. Or, they said they're not ready sometimes. More times than not to receive what you're giving. So maybe it's about your delivery. Maybe it's in how you try to deliver the messages. Let's put it this way, no disrespect to the mundanes. You know, and delivering these like spiritual celestial messages that have to be a little bit more layman, you know? Interesting. Okay, let's go into what to consider. Queen of Pentacles. Talk about coming back down to earth, right? Rooting and grounding in this like stable, practical way. It's nurturing the success of what you've been able to attain, which is the knowledge, the information, the vision, the insight, the realizations of things, you know, of being able to clearly point people in the right direction to follow their own light, so to speak. And what to consider is, how do I root this now, ground this in a very practical, successful way for me to get my message across, for them to hear or listen or follow their own inner guidance without judgment and ego, to nurture that part of themselves and to nurture that part of you. The Queen of Pentacles, nurturing that part of you as you are trying to teach them or show them or guide them or point them in the direction of themselves. Lovely. Carriage, a journey, either physical or mental. This is what you're on. This is the journey. The journey to root it in this 3D reality. You are trying to merge the 5 and the 3D and connect it for everybody, or for people to understand or to trust in, or something about that. And this can be the physicality of the carriage, can be about you trying to meditate on the root chakra and stay grounded within that energy, so that you can, like we said, practically bring in the celestial insight that wants to be shared in the 3D. I'm getting like heavy channelers, possibly. I'm getting clairvoyance. I can't remember what the clairs for the touch is, but I'm getting that clair touch. Can't remember. And I'm getting the smells. Okay, what to let grow? Justice. Lovely. What to let grow is the balance within the self, like we talked about, the balancing of the higher and the lower within oneself, of rooting in the 3D what you have and where you like to play, which is in the 5D. It is bringing balance to both of those energies, and also the masculine and feminine archetypes of oneself. That is the journey. Lovely. Butterfly, a change for the better. What to let grow, exactly. Once you balance this out and this transformation solidifies and integrates into your being, you are able to, I feel, more eloquently and more impactfully connect with people on a larger scale, for them to really feel rooted in what you're saying as a being too outside of the realm of understanding, because the experiences that you've already had has not been attained by some of the people you might be speaking with. So it's coming back to the basics of how you would explain it to a younger person than you that doesn't have a large vocabulary like a child might. Doesn't mean that their comprehension isn't there, but the words in which you choose to deliver that message might be a thing, or how you choose to go about delivering the messages, etc. Lovely. I love that. Here's your practical advice. The star. Yes. It's about, again, this very celestial energy I'm getting from my pile 3 here. It's about this spiritual healing, the spiritual understanding, being able to manifest and alchemize and produce what you desire from the intention and source energy. It's for you to be your own guiding light, your true north, following that. That is what this balance is bringing in. It's the celestial with the earthly. This quantum entanglement. It's beautiful. That is your practical advice. It's this, like everybody else says, what to let grow is this, to allow yourself to merge into this higher mastery of self. Love that. Take care, or there will be a loss of material wealth. So this is why they're saying to ground, because I know that energy well. Like when you play so much up in the ethers and you forget about your 3D reality responsibilities, or the importance doesn't feel so heavy on it because you're doing the spiritual work. It's a reminder to stay grounded, though, while you're doing all of this necessary evolving. Do not forget about the practicality of what you have to do in your physical, tangible reality. It's definitely need to do some root chakra meditations. That would be my guidance when it comes to like practical things for you to do, or on a spiritual level. And I'm also getting too that sometimes, like we said, people aren't always ready to receive the information. And if you are pointing the way to something or pointing the finger at something that they're not ready to receive, that might be a possible opening for people to alienate you, which will make you feel at a loss or a lack of connection because of your particular insight. That doesn't mean that's a bad thing. It's just something to be mindful of. Are you willing to take that risk? Either way, I don't think it's a big risk. It's just a matter of choice. So hence why they're asking you to really root and ground in this 3D experience. Okay, Spirit's advice. The Nymph of Swords. This is the Page of Swords in reverse. It's like, for me right now, that nymph, before we get to the actual knight, in the reverse feels like the hastiness and the, let's say, the impulsiveness of that Knight of Swords sort of gets diluted because, let's say, for example, the journey from Page to the Knight of Swords has like beginning, middle, and end. Let's put it that way. And right now, for me, the nymph or the Page of Swords in the reverse feels like either the hesitation to go in that direction with that type of hastiness. It can also be that you've learned something at a certain point that has allowed you to slow down, so to speak, before we get to that next stage, which is being able to look at things from a different perspective, from a different viewpoint on the earthly plane, from the spiritual plane, now bringing it into the mental plane. So Spirit's advice is like, there's something for you to still make sure has truly been implemented as a part of you evolving. So it's not just about the spiritual work. It's how am I integrating all that I've learned in the spiritual realm, in the ethers, into my 3D reality, where I'm creating this imprint, where I still need to finish and complete and follow my natural blueprint, my North Star, my true north, while I'm still helping and guiding others, while I'm still doing all the spiritual work that I want to do. Amazing. Okay. Then we have Beryl. You feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. And this is why I think they're asking you to re-examine again, to look like, how am I rooting this in? So what that feeling is of incompleteness, or it maybe not getting to that sense of a feeling that you were expecting, it's because this balance has to come in first. The change for the better within the practicality and the spirituality. And within knowing how to generate your own type of community or collective consciousness that resonates with your delivery, with your way of speaking, what you see, what you hear, what you taste, what you touch, what you smell. I'm also getting here, when it comes to practical advice, it's like when I was talking about you being able to like show the way of this, there's something wrong, or like this is where the area is that we should look at again. I'm getting this, take care, there will be a loss of material wealth. It's like you still warn them. You're like, watch this area. You're going to lose something here if you choose to continue to move this way. You'll feel this sense of lack. There's an interesting, again, this wisdom that you have, but it's also wisdom that needs to be applied to you in a different context. It's very interesting. Like every pile for me had a pattern. First group was like straight, like there was like a mini waves with straight. Second pile was like zigzaggy patterns that all connected. Yours is like loops. I'm getting loops. That's the energy. Interesting. Okay, let's go into the guidance now for this column here, which is the reason behind your blockage. Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. Yeah, and I think your plan right now is, how do I ground this in? This is a part of the journey. It's just like, how do I practically get out what I'm saying so people hear, listen, are attentive, apply? Nice. What to consider. Water guardian. Connect with your emotions. I didn't think of that. So maybe there has been this, like, okay, the example they're giving me here is when you've experienced or been through something, for example, and somebody that you know is experiencing it for the first time, there are some people who get like dismissive about it because they've already experienced it, like, no, it's not that bad. You know, like, it's not going to be that crazy. Like, let's say that they're using the example of being intimate, physically intimate with somebody for the first time. Like, generally speaking, that's not pleasant for most females. That breach is not always great, you know? And it's not a pleasant experience in the physical way of it feeling, but the actual sensation, the lead up, the why you're there is all freaking beautiful. So it feels almost like there can be a possibility of you being so wise with certain things that you are forgetting, the forgetting of what it was like to be there in the beginning, of what all those emotions felt like, of all the questions that you may have had, of how you even got to this point of where you are, because you're leveling up again, you know? So it's like, I'm wondering if what's to consider is returning back to the emotional state of where you were before, not where you were, but what you've experienced, so that you're fully integrating all elements, the fire, the earth, the air, the water, which brings in this beautiful balance of justice and that change for the better. And connecting with your emotions will allow you to see what needs to be nurtured still within you to accomplish this task, to break through this barrier of this energy. Okay, what to let go. Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. There is a lesson here in giving unsolicited advice. They want you to remain quiet for now when it comes to things that you may see, pick up on. It is sometimes not your place to show other people's faults, even though that is not what you're doing, because you're coming from a place of light, coming from a higher dimension when it comes to the spiritual delivery and messages you're receiving. But where they may be in their practical reality is in a place still of defensiveness, and of not being able to see one's faults in the way that you are, out of love, but as in a problem and in shame. So when somebody points the finger towards something that they already feel insecure about or haven't even spoken about, it's a heavy trigger. And I'm getting that that's what might be this. It's not like your information is wrong. It's something like, wait for them to come to you. I'm also getting that this upgrade and this mastery is also coming from your ancestral line. And you have been an elder in past lives is what I'm getting. A guide, a guidance, a guru, a sage, an oracle, something along those lines. And I feel like there are always people who will blame you for their actions, or there's always people who will blame somebody for their actions because, they took something too literal. That's exactly what the Bible did. Do you know what I mean? And it was meant for something way more than all this frickin' war we've had forever. And it's not just the Bible, that's what religion did. That's what scripture did, differing beliefs that led to unnecessary wars. When the bigger picture was talking about the same thing, Just because I see this way to get there and I think that's more efficient, it doesn't mean that it might be the best way for that person at the time. your timelines might be different. This is very interesting. So that's what to let grow. Your practical advice. What did I just say? Oracle. What did I just said it. Wait for important information. Wait for them to come to you. This is exactly right. You know, it's like you don't have to feel like you have to save everybody because you can. You just don't have to. It's not your role. Use your energy in a different way right now. And right now that is needed for you to observe, to see. You can take notes, make your own book of shadows until they start coming to you and still they recognize what your lessons have been. You've still planted seeds, and you're still growing and learning. Nobody's perfect. You're still a human being, no matter how celestial you connect. I love that. Okay, Spirit's advice. Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. That's it. This is exactly what we've been talking about. It's about waiting for them to come to you. I'm really getting that. Receiving all of this insight from your ancestors again. And these colors are beautiful here. Wait for important information. Be open to healing information. It's like all of this insight gathering again, this downloads from spirit, ancestors, guides, elders, is leading you into this beautiful evolution of yourself. It's a rerouting of your physical nature and amplifying and manifesting through that physical form your celestial power, energy, guidance, wisdom. I love this. Okay, let's get into your last messages here. So underneath, reason behind your blockage in the summer. Make plans and focus. I'm feeling possibly that this past summer is when some of this energy, some of this energy may have come up for you. So, which forced you into making plans for something else, for, like I said, either finding people of more like mind than you, or of realizing where your energy might be misunderstood. There's something about the summer season that this may have transpired, or the realizations and visions started happening, or there's an increase, something about that. What to consider. Go have some fun. So connecting to your emotions, getting grounded in this 3D earth, practical, fun 3D things for you to do to root your energy back into this frequency of planet Earth is what I'm getting. What to let grow. Everything is as it should be. Yeah, finding that balance and peace within. Transmuting that energies from spirit into being, from earth into being. You are in the right place. You're moving in the right direction. The transformation and change for the better is where you need to be, and the ancestors and your elders are helping guide you. Your practical advice. Why are you holding on so tightly? I feel like it comes back to the wanting to help. I think that's what you're really holding on to. And that star energy of being able to heal. It's like you want to help so badly that it keeps you gripping onto. But you're just making yourself, sometimes people have to fall. And you have to let them fall. Doesn't mean you can't be there when they get back up, or to lend a helping hand to help them back up. But sometimes people have to fall. That is truth. Last message for Spirit's advice. Build, save, and receive. That's it. You are building this knowledge, acquiring and anchoring this in, saving and transmuting and integrating what you've learned for you to be able to receive even more, for you to be able to share even more once people come to you. This is all about coming in, right? Building, saving, and receiving. Be open to healing information, coming in, receiving. Let them come to you, my love. Oh my goodness. I hope that was helpful. This was beautiful. The reason behind your blockage is you're too fucking good. I'm just kidding. You're so evolved that, and you're still continuing to evolve, that it is sometimes very difficult for people to really get on the same page as you in the moment that you're in it. You're very fast, so have a little bit of patience with, like I said, the mundanes, and let them come to you, my lovely. Or let it happen more organically. Let's put it that way. I'm sending you so much love. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please leave a like. Ciao.